we've dealt with this side, but
politically,
political solution. But what about the courts, the legal side? Because this is still there.
There's a court that has pronounced itself that Nick Mwendwa was removed from office procedurally by the government, the then government, led by then Sports Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohamed, a High Court ruling. Nick Mwendwa went to court, High Court, and said, actually, mbona sikio FIFA ikumwandikia barua ameenda kotini? Wakati yeye alienda High Court.
I don't know.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I know.
I'm trying to cite FIFA for double standards.
Yeah. Yes, I get where you're going.
I'm trying to cite FIFA for double standards, but Nicholas, you know me, I was in court when he was charged. He's called Nicholas Kithuku Mwendwa. Hizo ndo jina zake.
Majina ya M-Pesa.
Pana Nick Mwendwa. He went to court and sued the government, said, I have unprocedurally been removed from office. The case went on for some time, and the ruling was, no, you were procedurally removed from office. The only mistake Madam Amina did was she did not serve you with the report from the, what were they called? Investigator. There's those guys who went to, and then the findings of the report. Yeah. Yes. So you will be served with that report, but it's unprocedural. Now, there are guys who are saying Ababu cannot unban that because it was gazetted that FKF are no longer in office. So Ababu cannot stand on the steps of his office and say Nick is back in office. Because it's a gazette notice that FKF has been disbanded.
But then, the question then comes, how are we reinstated during the World Cup?
Sikienyeji. Politically, mulisimama kwa stairs.
No, there had to be a conversation for FIFA to lift it. There were pictures between FIFA and our CS.
The word has it that FIFA told the government at that point in time. The government that has left had an issue with one person, Nick Mwendwa. They said he was corrupt. They cited him for economic crimes. You cannot disband a whole federation on the basis of one person. Let this guy step aside. The rest who are innocent, because they have not been taken to court, let them go on. And then if Nick is found guilty, we'll take it from there. Either way, apparently, because I was not in the meeting, but those are sources between the government and FIFA. Either way, there's a year to elections. Why disband everything, bring a normalization, blah, blah? Why can't we wait for this year, these guys who are innocent finish, then we get to elections, which is now. Now, that explanation made sense to Ababu. That if it's one person who has an issue, let him step aside. So Nick stepped aside, went to court, cleared his name, came back.
So you said you're tired.
Very.
Why are you tired?
Why don't Uganda get threatened with bans? Zambia don't get threatened with bans. Tanzania don't get threatened with bans. By the way, Al Ahly were in Zambia yesterday.
Yes.
For the CAF Champions League quarterfinals. A big occasion. Mamelodi Sundowns are in Dar es Salaam today, playing Yanga. Champions League quarterfinals. In football terms, that's a big step ahead for Tanzania. Have two teams, the only country in Africa with two teams. As in, their football is progressing at a very alarming rate if you're a Kenyan. But my point is, we are surrounded by very many FS. South Sudan, Uganda, DR Congo, Zambia, Tanzania, name them, Uganda. Why don't they have all these issues that Leon Taku Baniwa, you've been threatened, letters are flying all over social media. Let me just finish my rant. Guys, we just need a solution. If that solution means we are banned for 3 years, don't host anything. But by the way, do you know why FIFA said, CAF said we have to have 3 stadiums for AFCON? Because we only need 2, but each country has to have 3. That's why Kenya settled on Kasarani, Talanta, and Eldoret. Because wanajonga kuna hii ujinga. So ule mtu ataleta hii ujinga atatolewa tu kwa mix hizo 6 stadiums ziendelee. So instead of kama Kenya for example mtaleta tu ujinga na tunakaribia 2017, amtaleta hiyo ngori yenyu ati Uganda na Tanzania pia ingie kwa hiyo ngori yenyu. Mtatolewa tu mwambie kaka mnangele step aside. Because they will have 3 stadiums each. So don't think that all this shenanigans and, let me borrow this term, stupidity will affect. But my tiredness is we really have to solve this problem. We can't be, after every year, FIFA want to ban Kenya, sijui nani amenda high court, sijui nani.
I have a question. Whose fault is it that this keeps happening to Kenya?
The government. They have stood by, watched all these shenanigans. The president was at FC Leopard's 60th birthday. He said Talanta Hela Stadium, I listened to him, will cost 30B to build. You cannot put such an investment in an industry that is so confused and hope that everything will be okay. You can't. I know there's an extent to which the government can crack the whip, but you can't stand just by for 10, 15 years. When President Ruto was the deputy president of Kenya, he used to talk about this. That impira lazima mwajibike. You have to put things in order. Guys who are more informed and serious should come and manage football. You should pick. Now he's the president. We cannot, to be honest, just be always reporting about FIFA bans and leaked letters. This letter is leaked by FKF to come and scare us that a ban is coming. That's just the whole point about it. So the buck, to answer your question, the buck stops at the government doorstep. Why do you entertain a federation that has not conformed to the Sports Act 8 years down the line? The laws of the land. Ni like kila mtu mwingine wote akishikwa kama ameiba atapelekwa kotini, lakini wewe somehow you don't believe in that law, and you are Kenyan and you are holding a public office in trust. And I read you the monies that FKF received from public from FIFA and the government the other day during the games. So you receive all that money in trust for the public, but you don't believe in the laws of the land. And somebody somehow is okay with that. The registrar writes you a letter and tells you, listen, you cannot contest for the FKF presidency. Your term is done. And he cites the laws of the land. And you wish her away. And life goes on just okay.
Can Kenya afford a ban?
Yes, I want a ban for 2 years. Let Uganda and Tanzania host CHAN and AFCON. If that 2-year ban will make sure we clean up everything and start on a clean slate. Because we just had a ban that didn't clearly solve anything. We just had a ban, a 1-year ban. We missed the 2024 CHAN and AFCON that was just played the other day. Kenya missed out.
And the women's AFCON.
Women's AFCON. We came out of it. It didn't solve anything. We just back to where we were. So if that is, and this is my rider, if that is how we're going to solve this problem, because what will happen? We will host CHAN in September. Patrice Motsepe will arrive at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Nick Mwendo will go and collect him at the airport. Somebody will rush to the High Court. Give me interpretation on whether Nick is the one supposed to pick Motsepe as per this court order. And then somebody will get a stay. Nick should stay away. And it's a big tournament we're hosting the country. I don't know if you're getting where I'm coming from.
I am.
Yeah.
And I want to turn to Bernard.
This problem will be solved by a little bit of blood. It cannot just be solved diplomatically. It's a 10, 15-year-old problem.
Bernard, can Kenya afford another ban now that Kwalimwa says it comes every few years? Kamadawa.
No, I think a ban would be killing a mosquito with a hammer. Because, yes, we understand the challenges we've been having and all that, but I still feel like can be resolved diplomatically. I'm still confident of that being the best route possible. And obviously the parties involved, somewhere, same way he says that it needs to be handled by the powers that be.
Yes.
Is the same way that it can be resolved diplomatically. And there's a way. Let me give you an example. We all know that there was a problems with Safari Rally before it's zoomed off.
Yes.
But a lot of things were done. The government flexed its muscles, did something. So I feel like that can be done as well. There are a few things that can be said and done, and it can influence a lot of things to happen. But a ban will do us more harm than good, because you remember what happened many years back, before the 2016 Olympics. We were between a rock and a hard place when it came to the issue of doping. And the government had to be very intentional to ensure that was not the case, because you can imagine what that means. We're just looking at it.
Even just 2 years ago.
We're just looking at it. Yes. And we're just looking at it at a very, very, very surface level. National teams. Clubs, our players will not be able to move to different clubs, because when it means ban, it means wholesale ban. It means everything related to football will be there. Will be a pariah in the region, and you can imagine what that means. So for me, a ban will not be the way. I think there are other means to be able to resolve this.